Man cause big accident on the highway and run, gone, cross the bush over there. So, see, you can go send a John shop. Look how much vehicle the man mash up. Eh? The man mash up over 10 vehicles. And run, gone. Nothing can move, you say, no? Nothing can move.
It's a very art. Yeah, man, the whiplash and everything, man. Come on, it just see me.
Why for me alone, I can't long time with my cousin there. Oh, champion. And the way about oh singer. Come in. We can't live off of that scene now. We finally passed.
JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. 3 men fatally shot during police operation in St. James. 3 men were fatally shot during a police operation in Orange District, St. James on Tuesday morning in the search for suspects involved in the flare-up of violence in roadsides. The names of the men have not been released. 3 guns were seized during the operation. The police say one of the men is linked to Friday night's murder of social media personality, 23-year-old Marlon Samuels, also known as 41 Bosshead, of roadsides. Assistant Commissioner Glenford Miller, commanding officer for the Area 1 Police, says the suspect is a key player in the violence in roadsides.
This morning, up in Orange District, that's in the St. James police area, my police officers ran an operation in that space there, looking for some persons of interest in relation to the recent flare-up in Rosites District, where we have seen murders and shootings and reprisal and counter-reprisals. And it was during those shooting incidents also that we would have seen our social media, our social influencer would have actually been shot and killed during that era there. So while the police officers were on operation this morning and went to our premises to conduct some searches, they were greeted by gunfire from this premises, where 3 men fired at our police officers. Our police officers would have returned the fire, and these 3 men were fatally shot. 3 firearms were recovered during this operation also. We know that some persons would have been, we have incidents where some persons would have been shot. We have about 2 murders actually stemming from some situations, and that is why we would have actually have the reprisal and the counter reprisal, and some persons were shot and injured in relation to this. But sometimes these incidents of crime, we consider them to be so senseless, because these are persons, by virtue of what we are gathering, these are persons who have actually known each other. But because of persons vying for danship, everyone want to be a Dan. So as a result of that, friends killing friends. And these are things that this must stop. We cannot continue as a nation like this.
Following Friday's killing of the TikToker, a house was shot up and 2 other people shot in roadsides on Saturday morning. The shootings have been linked to 2 gangs fighting for turf. Meanwhile, the Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom has launched a probe into the incident. The Indicom team says the investigation is underway, including the examination, processing and packaging of evidential material and bodies of the deceased men. The agency is now treating residents with information about the identity of the deceased men or general information about the incident, including videos to share such via its WhatsApp number 876-553-0000. So far this year, 183 people have been shot and killed by the security forces, including 15 in December alone. Guns and ammo seized in St. James, men arrested. The St. James police seized 2 guns and 20 assorted rounds of ammunition during an operation in Bottom, Cambridge on Monday. Reports from the Montego Bay police are that, at about 4:53 p.m., lawmen carried out an operation at a premises in the area where 2 houses were searched. During the search, a Glock pistol fitted with a magazine containing 15.45 rounds of ammunition was seized in one house, and a .4 caliber Smith & Wesson MP pistol fitted with a magazine containing 5 9mm rounds of ammunition seized in the other house. 2 men were taken into custody pending further investigation. Woman killed by a coaster bus in St. Elizabeth. A woman died on Monday night after being hit by a Toyota coaster bus while walking along the Goshen Main Road in St. Elizabeth. The deceased has been identified as Kimberly Simpson of Goshen District, Santa Cruz address. It is reported that at about 9:45, Simpson was walking along the roadway when she was hit by the bus. The injured woman was taken to the Mandeville Regional Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. The driver of the bus was warned for prosecution. The Santa Cruz Traffic Department is investigating the matter. 2 men dead after motorcycle collision in Hanover. 2 men died along the Old Green Island Main Road in Hanover on Monday following a collision involving a motorcycle and a car. They have been identified as 23-year-old Donovan Daly and 27-year-old Marquino Buchanan, both mechanics of Cadwell in the parish. It's reported that at about 10 a.m., the mechanics were traveling in a grey Cobra motorcycle driven by Daly, while a white Toyota Corolla Crown was traveling in the opposite direction. It's alleged that the driver of the Toyota Crown was in the process of overtaking another car in the vicinity of the LV Seafood restaurant when the motorcycle collided with the right side of the Crown. Daly and Buchanan were thrown from the motorcycle and received serious injuries to their heads, hands and feet. They were pronounced dead on arrival at the Noel Holmes Hospital. Detective arrested on sex-related charges. A senior detective assigned to the Area 1 Narcotics Division has been arrested on sex-related charges. Detective Sergeant Neil Williams is facing charges of sexual grooming and having sexual intercourse with a person under 16 years old. He was charged last Friday, following a ruling from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. It's alleged that sometime in 2023, the policeman met the complainant and started communicating with her via WhatsApp. Arrangements were then reportedly made on December 12 this year for them to meet after the complainant asked the money to purchase Cosa the Christmas holiday. They reportedly met in Dunsville, Ochiris, where the policeman allegedly had sexual intercourse with her in his car. They were reportedly seen by relatives of the complainant, who reported the matter at the Ochiris police station. The police sergeant was taken into custody, placed on an identification parade, and later charged. He was offered $300,000 bail with sureties on Monday when he appeared before the Senton Parish Court. Policeman still in hospital following crash that killed a pedestrian. The policeman injured in a motor vehicle mishap in Trelawney on the weekend remains in hospital in serious condition. A woman was killed in the accident. It is understood that the police sergeant, who sustained major head injuries, remains unresponsive. The woman killed in the accident has been identified as 14-year-old Michelle Thompson, a construction worker from Piper's Corner, Savlamore in Westmoreland. Thompson died from injuries she received after being struck by a motorcycle driven by the sergeant, who is attached to the Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement branch in Westmoreland. It's reported that, at about 7 p.m. on Saturday, Thompson was on Flamingo Beach Road in Falmouth when she allegedly ran into the path of a police motorcycle driven by the sergeant. Both sustained severe injuries. They were rushed to hospital where Thompson was pronounced dead and the policeman admitted. Manchester man charging 2 double murders. The police in Manchester have charged a man with 4 counts of murder stemming from 2 incidents, including the killing of his relatives. Charges Toby Clark, 32, a resident of Chudley, Northeast Manchester. He was recently charged with the July 13 double murder of Tanisha Burton, otherwise called Browning, and Wilford Mallison, otherwise called Daddy. The victims were fatally shot at a bar in Big Woods District in Craighead. A 3rd person was shot and injured. Police say Clark is jointly charged in relation to that double murder. He is also facing another double murder charge in relation to the September 5, 2017 killing of his aunt Doreen Hamilton and her son Orrin Hamilton in Cedar Grove, Manchester. Clark is set to appear in the Manchester Parish Court on January 8. Former Atlas employee accused of $10 million heist freed. A former Atlas employee charged with the disappearance of $10 million from an armored truck has been found not guilty in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Nadine Miller, 52, was acquitted of a charge of larceny as a servant. Miller was part of the team that loaded the armored truck on January 25, 2018. The coroner alleged that, after helping to load the truck, Miller, who had been complaining of feeling unwell, left the compound. Shortly after the truck departed, it was discovered that a bag containing $10 million was missing. However, $6 million was later found at a school attended by Miller's child on February 9, 2018. Our attorneys, Peter Champagne Casey and Somoy Campbell, argued that the evidence against their client was insufficient and that she should be acquitted. Campbell also noted that the armored truck left the compound without Miller and that a check of the money was conducted after Miller had already exited. Campbell further pointed out that Miller was arrested on January 28, 2018 and that police had conducted multiple searches at the school where the money was discovered after her arrest. He argued that this suggested the money could have been placed there by someone else. The room where the money was found had no door, making it easily accessible, the attorney also argued. The court also heard that Miller was not the only Atlas employee with children attending the school. In delivering the verdict, Chief Parish Court Judge Chester Cook stated that the evidence did not sufficiently establish that Miller was responsible for taking the money and highlighted that the evidence did not rule out the possibility that other individuals with access to the money had taken it. As a result, Miller was found not guilty. Police tracking confrontations taking place on social media platforms. The police say they are paying attention to the confrontations taking place across social media platforms. This followed the killing of another TikToker, 23-year-old Marlon Samuels, otherwise known as 41 Busshead, of Roseheights in St. James. Senior Superintendent of Police Dennis Brooks, Senior Communications Strategist in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, asserted on Monday that the police cannot turn a blind eye to any potential violent interaction in cyberspace.
We move very quickly from somebody being the victim of a cybercrime, whether it be someone using threatening or menacing language on a platform, or whether it be somebody who's defaming someone on a platform, and rather, because maybe we're not as litigious as we ought to be, we end up in a situation where we are taking it out as violence, and then it becomes an offenses against a person issue. But I do believe it still becomes a problem for us, and we have to constantly be monitoring these things. And people call us and say, or they send us this video and say, look at what this person said about me, or look what and I want to take it up. So there's a lot of time spent by TikTok investigating these matters. When we look at, for instance, attribution of these particular crimes, they would still fall in the two main attributions that most Jamaican murders can be categorized in. One, gang violence or interpersonal violence that is perpetrated by persons who you have a previous relationship with. You know them. And so it is as we begin to live more digital lives, so we are living more of our lives in the digital space, and we are seeing violent encounters play out in the digital space, that now we have this particular problem that we are seeing.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.